welcome in. And today we're gonna see a very, very serious topic, very scary topic. Especially for me. I am part of the unemployed club. My first ever job is being a VTuber. So this one is terrifying. We're gonna watch Degenerocity talking about his, I'm really sorry for saying this word out loud. I know it's really scary and offensive. Job. I even get shivers just thinking about it. But oh well, if you want to join us and watch these reactions live, you can do so over here at Twitch, or you can join us over at YouTube and watch me game. Yeah! So let's go.
Today, I'll be talking about one of humanity's biggest fears. A job!
Ah! Oh my god, that was terrifying.
This is a horrifying path that almost everybody will have to eventually face in their life, whether we like it or not.
Dude.
And most of the time, we don't. But everyone has to get their bread somehow. So we just gotta suck it up and pray that we win the lottery or our parlay hits one day. Because let's be for real, nobody want a job. Like, unless you got...
Or you can get a really, really rich husband/wife if you're lucky and hot enough for that.
Real aspirations for a certain type of work. I think most of us, if given a magical opportunity to get paid however much you get paid now and not work that job again, we would take it. Because most of us see jobs as a way to get by in life.
I mean, actually, to be fair, I do like my job. I do like being a VTuber quite a bit. I would probably continue being a VTuber, but it is hard. It is hard. There's so much stuff to do, but it's definitely not as bad as other jobs. I am very lucky.
And try to make ends meet. There's no room for you to pursue passions in this economy. You better second guess that art degree and major in business so you can be an executive marketing promoter for $1 billion company. But I digress. I'm just saying, I doubt that is most people's passions to work at a 9-to-5 at a warehouse lifting boxes. I don't mean any disrespect, but am I wrong? Plus, it's fun being unemployed. As long as you got a roof over your head and don't need to worry about bills, most likely because you still live with your parents, then why would you want a job? That sounds like it's taking away your...
Stop! Not the Lunas! No! I feel so called out. I literally main this character in Marvel Rivals. I feel so called out. Stop!
Time from being Grandmaster on Rivals and watching Reels.
I feel so called out.
That's too much. But eventually you want to get your own stuff. You know, young boy tickets ain't free. Or life really hits you in the face and now you actually have bills. So eventually we all have to get a job. However, you know what's harder than actually deciding to get a job? Finding one that hires you. I swear you can send...
I might not have had it. I might never have had... Guys, how do I formulate this sentence? I might have never had a job. Yes, you got what I mean. But it wasn't for lack of trying. Bro, I swear to God, I sent out so many applications. It's just that apparently I suck too much. Nobody wanted to hire me, bro. I was so sad. I sent out so many applications when I was in college looking for internships. Nobody wanted to hire me, bro.
And 100 applications to 100 different places and all of them would still ghost you. You think with how many job openings you see, the businesses are desperate to find people. But nah, it feels like they're...
The only people they're desperate to find is their siblings' kids. That's who they're looking to hire. Or maybe their children, their own kids, you know, that kind of stuff. It's never random people. They want to hire people in their family. Nepotism. Classic nepotism. Nephews, yes, nephews. That's the word that I was trying to think.
Posting it as bait, just to mess with people. Or steal your info. Not only that, if this is your first job, you're gonna have a harder time because even the quote-unquote entry-level jobs are asking for a qualification of having prior experience. Like, isn't that what this job is for? How is someone supposed to get experience and not be homeless?
Bro, that is a freaking classic, dude.
Every decent paying job requires that.
I actually found internship applications that asked for experience. Internship! I don't know, bro. I don't know.
And trying to apply for a job on LinkedIn or Indeed is like sending your application into a void. I swear none of those people be reading them. You could have the most stacked profile on LinkedIn, You got a bachelor's, master's, discovered the cure for cancer. Then you send in an application for your dream job to your dream company. Then they write back to you saying, we've read your application. Unfortunately, the CEO's daughter has took your position that you applied for, so get the fuck on.
I told you,
Back
bro,
when I was
it's
still applying
always
for
that.
jobs, I literally gave up on sending applications on those sites because I'd never get a response back. Like, damn, was my application that bad? Even when your application does get noticed and you get set up for an interview, you still gotta go through some more bullshit.
I never had an
ass ways.
interview.
Why did you choose our business? Y'all hiring. Like, what's up? What is your main motivation to get your work done? Money? What else am I here for? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Employed,
Hopefully not
hopefully.
here. That's just
Oh,
me being
wow.
honest with my answers. What do you want me to do? Work here for the rest of my life? This is a Wendy's. So you gotta lie with any question they ask.
What drives your passion to work in our business? I want to eat food and not starve, I guess. Yeah.
You have to make yourself look as good as possible, so you gotta fake it till you make it. Even if they asked you a stupid question like, would you still work this job even if there was no pay? You say absolutely. I always wanted to be a slave. Congratulations,
Bro!
you have successfully become employed. The end of your life starts Tuesday. After starting a job, I feel after the first week, you can find out whether you like it or quit it the next month. And it won't be the job itself to motivate this decision. It's your boss and coworkers.
Jiggle my balls.
They can make or break this.
Bro, I have seen so many horror stories of like weird ass bosses and like weird ass coworkers. Like if it's not already hard enough that you have to do your job and all that stuff, you also have to deal with a bunch of shitty people. I for real one time said no, I won't, and I'm working there right now. I mean, you were honest, you know, they were like, you know what? We appreciate your honesty. We admire your honesty. You're hired.
This whole thing. If you happen to get a chill boss and coworkers you can vibe with, that's amazing. That's how my last real job was. I used to be a waiter for weddings and other events. That
Oh my
job
God.
low-key had me stressing because I wasn't good at the start. I was awkward taking orders. I would mess up orders. And one time I even dropped a whole tray of food I was carrying at the wedding. Best believe I did.
Oh, ow, that must have been so embarrassing, dude. Yeah, I would probably cry on my first day on a job if it was a job that I had to deal with people, you know. I'd be like, I have to talk to the strangers. I would actually just cry the whole day.
Didn't get tips that day. And what would get me kind of jealous is that some of my coworkers would walk out and carry 2 trays full of food on one shoulder.
Oh
like,
my
damn,
God.
bro, are you Samoan? Those trays are mad heavy and so out of balance. But you know what kept me going?
Bro, that reminds me of those clips. I've seen some clips of like these tiny ass German girls in like Oktoberfest, and they just grab like freaking 12 freaking mugs of beer, and like you wonder how they're able to lift that many beers, but also how they're able to not drop any of them. It's crazy, dude. They're actually built different. So that's why I could never find myself being a server. Yeah, I mean, I would probably try, but I would struggle a lot.
Owen, it was the fun time I had with my coworkers and boss. They were cool as hell. We had a carpool to get to the events. It was always a vibe and a good time. They made my experience. Imagine working a 16-hour shift and walking out of it happy. One day I clocked in for a double shift for a wedding and a Sweet 16 at 9:30 a.m. and clocking out at 1:30 a.m. Granted, I was dead after that shift and had to take off my shoes more than once. But I got $60 worth of tips and went to Wawa after work, so I felt
That much out, that many hours? Is that worth it? Am I crazy? You work 16 hours? That doesn't sound that worth it, no? That sounds exhausting.
like Gucci. And I believe I only felt like this because the environment I was around was nice. Sometimes. I've had to serve some aggressive people at some points.
Yeah, it's my birthday.
Bro, I hate people that are mean to like to service workers. It makes me so unreasonably mad. Like, why are you yelling at an underpaid teenager that is just trying to do their freaking job, dude? Like, it makes me so angry. Like, actually.
Birthday today. What can I get out here for free? You a bitch.
If I had trash co-workers or a trash boss, I would have not stayed at that job for long. I have zero patience for bullshit. Literally. Like example, the first job I've ever had in my senior year of high school, I was a janitor at a warehouse. I had no coworkers, so I had nobody to talk to, and my boss was not a bad person, but a bad boss. I'd be working shifts that were 2 to 3 hours every few days, cleaning the break rooms, hallways, and bathrooms. So my pay wasn't even that good, but since I was still in school, I was just thinking, I'm making money and I got more time to study and goon. That sounds like a whip.
TMI? That was a little too much information, sir. This part of like making money as a teenager is really understandable. When I was a teenager, I think I said this like a couple of times, but I used to do freelance art because like I couldn't get a real job. We do have jobs that minors can do in Brazil, but it's kind of difficult to get them. But basically, I would like do freelance art as a teenager, and that was my way of making money. And I was like, I felt so freaking cool when I could buy video games with the money that I made myself. Even if it wasn't a lot, I would just feel like I got myself a new League of Legends skin with my money. Awesome.
Win-win. But when payday arrived, I would only be paid for half the hours I worked, sometimes less. I was already barely working as is, combined with a salary of $13 an hour, cleaning up pee-pee and poo-poo. Man, I'm not taking it. Plus, he only paid me through Cash App. You've ever had a job that only paid you through Cash App? Man,
We don't have Cash App
I
in
only
Brazil.
worked there for a few weeks. He did pay me the rest of the money after, so he cool, but man, warehouse jobs are not it. My patience dwindled faster, so he cool, but man, warehouse jobs
What is...
are...
Oh my god, this image is giving me anxiety. So true, when I first made money as a teenager, I felt like such a baller for real. I felt like a freaking hustler, bro. I was like... the mindset, the grind set, gotta wake up at 6 a.m. and work while they're sleeping. I felt that way, bro.
Are not it. My patience dwindled faster when I got accepted at BJ's, and I worked there for 1 day. I asked to go to the bathroom and left during orientation. I discovered they weren't what they advertised. How you gonna call yourselves BJ's without expecting people to have certain expectations? That's false advertising.
Of course.
That wasn't really the reason. I just didn't want to work in the freezer. That's when I started my waiting job, then YouTube, and now here I am. Unemployed since. I'm just saying I can understand the struggles of looking for and having a job.
Relatable.
Especially the ones you only take to make ends meet. And the unemployed life can be really fun when you have stuff to fall back on. If not, it will only be short-term satisfaction. Eventually, you have to get a career, deal with any of the shortcomings of it, and do that for the rest of your life. The American dream! So when looking for a job, make sure to get one that you like if you have the privilege to do so. That's all I really wanted to say. And in conclusion, enjoy unemployment while you still can.
Enjoy unemployment. Unemployment is awesome. I'm basically unemployed, if you really think about it. Most uncles and aunties would consider me unemployed. Instruction unclear, joining a payday. No gangs. Okay, be right back. Gonna go quit my... No! That is not the point that I was trying to make. Don't quit your job. Bye-bye, YouTube. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.